Now to finish up our game of Pong here, we need to make our scripts for the paddle. You should already have these two scripts for the ball from the last video, and now the paddle. So the first thing we need to do is get a starter block out here, the green flag starter block, and we're going to initialize our paddle, make sure it's in the right spot to start with, by telling it to glide. And we'll tell it to glide there in half a second. Glide to the position of paddle X and a X position and Y at 0 in the Y position. So paddle X and 0. Then we're going to create a forever loop that it will simply then set Y to, okay, we'll hiccup on the computer here, set Y to a position that it senses as mouse Y, wherever the mouse is. So we'll put that right in there instead of 0. And that really is it. Now when I initialize it, yeah, it goes back to where it's supposed to, and then the mouse takes control of it as it ought to. Alright, so we'll start our program. Let's see if they both initialize as they're supposed to. Yes, they do. There goes the ball. And okay, it just missed, and it counted one miss. I hit it, and it counted one hit. So it appears to work well. Hit another time there. Miss. Hit. Hits a 3, misses a 3. Let's let it miss this time. Okay, 4 misses. It appears to work fine. This, we need to spice the game up a little and make it more interesting. So I'm going to create a script. I'm going to create a second background first of all. This is our first background, and let's just go from plain white. Let's edit it and turn it into something a little more interesting. We'll get our eyedropper here, and we'll go with yellow, and then fill it with the pink can. So there's our background, and now I'm going to make a second background here. Let's copy this one, and then edit it. And we're going to use the paint can again, but we're going to make it red. And then we're going to put the word miss. We want this known that that was a miss. And we'll make it a little larger and maybe move it over this way a little bit so it's to the right side of the screen. And put that up as our second costume for our, or a second background I should say. We're not on sprites, we're on backgrounds. And now back to our scripts. And we're going to, again, initialize our scripts by saying, our backgrounds I should say, by telling that when the green flag is clicked, we want it to switch to our background 1. And our background 1, if I remember correctly, look at my list here, is the plain yellow background. Okay, so that's what we do when we start. And now something special is going to happen when we miss. If we miss, remember before under the ball, we actually had a broadcast message here, and this was the script for missing, and we said broadcast miss. So we're going to go back over here, and we're going to say when I receive miss, we're going to repeat, and we'll leave it right at 10 because we want this to be dramatic and it will be fast. We're going to say, it needs to be an even number, so it ends up switching back to the yellow. We're going to tell it to just do 10 switches for next background. So it should switch between these two at a, okay, a little too soon. Quickly between these two whenever we have a miss. So let's give that a try. Start it, initializes, everything initializes. Okay, there's a hit. Whoop, that was a miss. And we got a miss. Hit. Miss. Hit. Oops, it missed. Didn't move fast enough. Good that time though. And again, notice that whenever it hits the paddle, it goes off at an unpredictable angle. So So there you have it. There's our game of Pong with our hits and miss counters and miss background.